Hey everybody, welcome back to Bones and Brews. So today we're going to dig in the vault, literally the family safe, to show you my championship chili seasoning recipe here. This seasoning is what you need for any chili you're making, whether it's in the house, on the oven, the crock pot, out on the smoker. It doesn't matter. This is going to be your base when you're adding that meat and you add that seasoning. No more buying that store-bought seasoning. So let's get started. Let's dig in here just below the passports. We're going to find the old chili seasoning. Let's get started. I've already got all the seasonings ready for us here. Laid out there because there was a lot of seasonings here and I do not want to mess this up for you guys. All right. So we're going to start with, I've got myself some ground garlic powder. I've got about 1¼ tablespoons of garlic powder. So I'm going to pour that in there in the center there. Next up, I've got myself some dark chili powder. We've got three teaspoons here of this one, or 3 tablespoons, sorry, 3 tablespoons of this one. All right. All the ingredients, everything for this mixture are in the description of this episode. If you don't follow along here and you want to look at that and copy and paste it and print it out for yourself later, you can do that as well. All right. Next up, we got some ground cumin. So we got almost 2 tablespoons of that ground cumin as well. Now we're going to add a little bit of ground coriander. This is really just a tad of that. It's like a 1/4 teaspoon of ground coriander. We're going to tap that in there. Next, we got a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You're probably thinking, that's not a lot of heat. Oh, just wait, all right? We got a little bit of ground mustard there as well for us. All right, that's about a 1/4 teaspoon there. Next up, we got some smoked paprika. So smoked paprika is about 1¾ tablespoons, so a little heavier on the paprika here. And then we got, here's the heat, boys and girls, a teaspoon ground Ancho Chili Powder. We're gonna add that in the mix. And we got ourselves about 3, almost 4 really, teaspoons of salt. And I grinded up a little bit of fresh pepper just to add that on the top as well. Really, you can use whatever you want, a little small whisk or a fork in that bowl, and just really mix up that seasoning. Make sure there's not any clumps in there. And then it's really ready to go when you're ready to make that chili. So, kind of a little pro tip, here's what I do with my seasoning. This is actually probably more than what you might need if you're doing a chili that you have about 2 pounds of ground beef or any other meats in. Around 2 pounds, you probably need about 3/4 of this mix to add into that chili. But that's okay because then you save the rest of it as you're taste testing it, or as in that crock pot through the day, you want to add a little bit more. You've got that seasoning exposable and ready to go for you as well, and to throw it into that chili. So that's why I always make a little more than I need. Better to be on the safe side, all right? So feel free to use that in any chili you're making. You also probably may not need to add extra if you're using a chili where you've added some smoked brisket in there, that you've already had that kind of a rub on that brisket to begin with. Some people add chorizo in their chili. That also does have a little bit extra heat. Probably don't need an extra seasoning as well. So really just play with it, see how much you need. But this is a great base for a homemade chili, all right? Like every episode, we're going to follow it off with a cold beer. I've got myself from Narrow Gauge Brewing the double dry hop Fallen Flag. This is from Florissant, Missouri, which is just on the outskirts here of the St. Louis area. This is a great brewery. If you're ever in town, definitely check them out. Oh yeah, boys and girls, that is a great beer to enjoy with the old championship chili. All right, you guys, like every episode, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll see you again on Bones and Brews.